The fluorescent lights of the supermarket feel a little too bright. Your 1-year-old who was babbling happily a minute ago is now a rigid, screaming arch on the floor. Every head in the checkout line turns. You feel a hot flush creep up your neck, and all you can think is, please just stop. We've all been there. We're told it's just a tantrum, the terrible twos arriving ahead of schedule. But as you're kneeling on that cold, sticky floor, a different question whispers in your mind. What if this isn't defiance? What if that heartbreaking scream isn't a no, but a desperate I can't? What if they're trying to tell you they are deeply frustrated because their body can't keep up with what their brain wants to do? Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm not a doctor, I'm a mom on a mission. A mission to read all the parenting books and studies so you don't have to. And believe me, I've been on that supermarket floor. Today, we're going to explore the powerful, often missed link between your child's meltdowns and their motor development. It might just change how you see everything. And seeing this connection early is so crucial. It's not about adding another thing to our list of worries. It's about unlocking our biggest superpower as parents, early detection. Think of it like learning to read. Addressing a small letter sound confusion in kindergarten with a few fun games is so much simpler than trying to fix a major reading comprehension issue in middle school. The exact same principle applies to our children's physical development. A small motor delay that goes unnoticed now can sometimes snowball, creating bigger challenges down the road. But more than that, think about it from their perspective. It creates this huge, frustrating gap between what their bright little mind wants to do and what their body can actually accomplish. That gap is a major source of stress for them. The beautiful part is that identifying these signs early can drastically reduce the amount of support needed and the intensity of that support later on. It's about giving our kids the right help at the right time when it's easiest for them. And that's exactly what we're going to learn how to do together. And that starts with recognizing one simple, powerful truth. Because you spend more time with your child than anyone else, you are in the absolute best position to notice these things first. No doctor, no therapist, nobody has the same intimate, minute-by-minute understanding of your child's unique little world as you do. Your intuition as a parent is real, it's powerful, and my goal today is just to give that intuition a clear professional framework. This isn't about adding another worry to your plate. It's about sharpening a tool you already possess. I'm Sarah, and as a mom on a mission, my whole job is to do the heavy lifting of research for you. Today, I'm translating that research into a simple checklist. We're going to walk through 7 specific motor delay red flags that pediatric specialists look for around the 12-month mark. But before we do, please hear me on this. This is a tool for awareness, not a reason for panic. Seeing one or even a couple of these signs is simply an indicator, a gentle nudge to have a conversation with a professional. It's about having information, not a diagnosis. And speaking of being in this together, before we dive into that first sign, let's create a supportive community right here. In the comments, let us know how old your little one is. It's a great reminder that we're all on this journey together. All right, it's wonderful to see all of us connecting. Now, let's get into that first red flag, the one that serves as the very foundation for so many other movements, sitting. So, red flag number 1 is the inability to sit independently. By 12 months, we hope to see a baby sitting confidently on the floor for several minutes without using their hands for support. Their back is mostly straight, maybe a little rounded, but their hands are free to clap, to reach for a toy, to explore. This shows that their core muscles, the ones in their tummy and back, have gotten strong enough to hold them upright against gravity. Now, the red flag here is if your little one consistently needs to use their hands on the floor to hold themselves up. You might see them in a tripod sit, where both hands are on the floor in front of them and their legs are out. If they lift a hand to reach for something and immediately wobble or fall over, it's a sign that those core muscles just aren't quite ready to do the job on their own yet. It's an important observation to make. This leads us right into red flag number 2, a lack of variety in sitting positions, and specifically the W sit. Healthy babies are little explorers of movement. They'll sit with their legs out front, folded to one side, or with one leg bent and one straight. But if your baby almost always defaults to one specific position, the W sit, it's something to pay attention to. A W is when their bottom is on the floor, but their knees are bent and their feet are out to the sides of their hips, forming a W shape if you looked from above. Now, this position provides a super wide, stable base. It's easy, but the problem is it's too easy. It's like using training wheels forever. It prevents the core muscles from learning how to truly balance. It discourages the development of that crucial rotational strength, the twisting motion in their trunk that they need to crawl properly, to turn and reach for things, and eventually to walk. Over time, this position can also put a lot of unnatural stress on their little hip and knee joints. Finally, red flag number 3 is about transitions. Can your baby get into and out of the sitting position all by themselves? This is a huge milestone for independence. Typically, they learn to do this in one of 2 ways. They might be on their tummy, push up onto their hands, and then rock their hips back to sit. Or they might be lying down, roll to their side, and use their arms to push themselves up into a seated position. So the red flag is if your baby can only sit when you place them in that position. If they seem stuck there and can't figure out how to get back to their tummy or onto all fours without your help, it signals that the coordination between their brain and their muscles for that specific problem-solving task hasn't clicked just yet. So the red flag is if your baby can only sit when you place them in that position. If they seem stuck there and can't figure out how to get back to their tummy or onto all fours without your help, it signals that the coordination between their brain and their muscles for that specific problem-solving task hasn't clicked just yet. Now, let's talk about the next big milestone that usually follows sitting, pulling up to stand. This brings us to red flag number 4, pulling to stand using almost exclusively their arms. The goal isn't just to get upright, it's about how they achieve it. Healthy development looks like a coordinated, full-body effort, but a red flag can appear when the legs aren't participating. Here's what to look for. Watch your baby at the coffee table. Are they doing what looks like a mini pull-up? You'll see their arms straining, doing all the work to haul their body up, while their legs are almost dangling or dragging behind. The ideal movement is more like a mini squat. They'll place their hands for balance for sure, but you can see the power coming from their legs as they push up from the floor. Their legs are doing the heavy lifting and their arms are just guiding the movement. That shows integrated strength from head to toe. Okay, so they're up. Now we look at how they're standing. This is red flag number 5, persistent toe standing. Let me be really clear on this one because it can cause a lot of worry. Almost every single baby will experiment with standing on their toes. It's normal, a way of exploring their balance and their body. The red flag isn't the act itself, it's the frequency. The specific guideline professionals use is this. If your baby is on their toes for more than 50% of the time they are standing, that's when it's worth paying closer attention. It can sometimes indicate tightness in their calf muscles or other things we'd want a professional to look at. All right, let's move on to our 6th sign. And I have to tell you, this next one is probably the most counterintuitive on our entire list. In fact, many parents see this and think it's a sign of advanced development, but at the 12-month mark, it's actually something we need to watch closely. Red flag number 6 is significant asymmetry, or what looks like an early dominant hand or leg. At 1 year old, your baby is a little explorer, and they should be using both sides of their body pretty equally. Think about it. They should be reaching for toys with both their right and left hands. They should be kicking with both legs. They should be able to pivot and move over both their right and left sides. So why is this so important? As I've learned in my research, this is because the 2 halves of their brain are still learning to communicate efficiently. We want to see equal exploration on both sides because it shows us that these connections, this bridge between the 2 hemispheres, are building symmetrically. A strong early preference can sometimes mean one side of the body is overcompensating for weakness or a different kind of challenge on the other side. So, a practical tip from me to you, just observe. Do they always reach for their cup with their right hand? Do they only roll over their left shoulder? You can also gently feel their arms and legs. Does one side consistently feel a bit stiffer, or on the flip side, more floppy than the other? Equal use shows that development is happening on a solid, balanced foundation. And that foundation brings us to our 7th and final sign. We've looked at the big picture of sitting and standing, so now let's zoom all the way in to the tiny, intricate movements of their hands. Fine motor skill is a huge window into their brain development. This sign is really 3 small observations rolled into one. First, just notice their hands during playtime. Newborns have those tightly clenched fists, but by 1 year, we hope to see hands that are mostly open and relaxed, ready to explore. If your child's hands are still persistently fisted, that's a little flag worth noting. Second, watch how they pick up small things. Put a single puff or a pea on their high chair tray. Do they use their fingers and palm in a sweeping or raking motion to bring it toward them? What we're looking for instead is the pincer grasp, that delicate ability to pick up that tiny object between the tip of their thumb and index finger. It's the difference between using a shovel and using a pair of tweezers. And finally, a skill that is surprisingly complex, voluntarily letting go. A baby's grasp reflex is powerful. It's all about holding on tight. Learning to intentionally drop an object requires their brain to actively send a signal to inhibit that reflex. It's like their brain has to learn not just to press the go button, but also where to find the stop button. Being able to purposefully drop a block into a large container is a massive developmental step. If objects seem to get stuck in their hand, that's the 3rd part of this final sign. Okay, let's just take a deep breath. From the big picture of sitting all the way down to the tiny detail of letting go of a block, we've just covered a lot of ground together. You now have a checklist of the same 7 key indicators that pediatric specialists look for. But the single most important message I want you to hear is this. This knowledge is for observation, not for panic. Think of it as a flashlight, not a siren. So, what's the next step? If you have been consistently noticing one or maybe a few of these signs, the action is simple and calm. It's just to schedule a conversation with your pediatrician or a pediatric therapist for an assessment. That's it. It's just about gathering more information. I remember a mom from our community who reached out because she noticed her son was almost always W-sitting and spent a lot of time up on his toes. She calmly brought him in for a checkup. And the solution? It was a series of simple, fun, play-based activities they could do at home to strengthen his core and hips. 6 months later, he was running, jumping, and climbing right alongside his peers. Her early, calm observation made all the difference. So if this video helped you feel a little more prepared and a little less worried, please give it a like. That small click genuinely helps other parents find this information when they might need it most. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because we'll be continuing this conversation, including a look at the best kinds of toys to support these healthy motor skills. Remember, you are your child's greatest expert and their best advocate. I'm just here to hand you the research. I'll see you in the next one.